From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Good Monday morning. Hope you had a fantastic weekend out there. And for this week, we're going to continue the mostly dry and fairly mild stuff for this time of the year. A low in chance of a shower for today, but mild and dry from Tuesday through Friday. And there will be considerable avalanche danger up in the Cascades for today and tomorrow at least. So, of course, we'll touch on that. But first, let's show you current conditions for this morning. Very thick fog up in the Cascades, so that would not be a lot of fun for Snoqualmie Pass for this morning. It also looks like there's a good amount of fog up in the Blues. Lower elevations, not seeing it too bad for now, but we'll continue to keep a very close eye on that. Temperatures hovering right around freezing for the most part. 30 for the Tri-Cities, 28 for Yakima. A little bit warmer than that for Walla Walla, as we're at 38 degrees there. First Alert radar is showing you that next round of rainfall on the way, impacting the west side for the time being. Your umbrella cast for this Monday for the Tri-Cities. Low in shower chances today from about 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pretty similar to the forecast that we had on Friday. So for today, low in shower chances for lower elevations. About a 50-50 chance for rainfall in the Kittitas Valley, but for the rest of us, about 10 to 30% chances. And again, we'll have a lot more to say about the considerable avalanche danger for today and tomorrow coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, residents in Kennewick pushing back against a proposed high-risk sex offender group home. Coming up, we're going to explain why early community involvement could make all the difference.
And after online threats surfaced, a 14-year-old Kennewick student has been convicted. We'll break down the verdict and what's ahead for sentencing.
And the city manager position in Sunnyside once again opened this morning. Coming up, we're going to explain how the council is planning to keep the city running smoothly while they look for the replacement. Details for these stories and more coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jade Elliott. It is Monday, February 2nd. We have started a new month.
It is Groundhog Day, and apparently the groundhog saw its shadow.
Yeah, that little rodent.
I know.
6 more weeks of winter. I know. Well, here's the deal. I was thinking about this yesterday. If 6 more weeks of winter is anything of like what
that we've
we've
been
had,
already seeing, then that's
fine.
Yeah.
But I know that there's other people saying, no, I'm over it.
Yeah.
When it comes to some of those people in the South and Northeast still getting hit by those storms, they're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As they should be.
Right. So
I would feel the same way, but
who knows? I'm sure Josh was waiting for what Punxsutawney was going to say so that he could continue to predict.
That's right, and we'll have more on that later in the newscast. But we do want to get into your top stories, and we're starting off with an Apple Valley News Now exclusive. Communities across Washington continue to fight against the proposed sex offender transition home, and one sheriff is saying early action and community pressure can make all the difference.
Thurston County's sheriff telling us he helped stop a less restrictive alternative, or LRA, home from opening in Tenino. And as Kennewick fights a similar proposal, his approach could offer a roadmap.
Yeah, so I had just gotten into office when this kind of hit me out of left field. I was not anticipating it. And there was a lot of learning to do about what LRAs are, how they function, how they've evolved over time. Ultimately, as you probably already know, this started with a court case where the state of Washington then had to comply with the court case.
When Thurston County learned a less restrictive alternative home could land in the small town of Tenino back in January of 2023, Sheriff Derek Sanders says they did not wait to act.
This has been a subject that has been a hot topic.
Sanders tells me his office immediately started working the issue, coordinating with state officials, reviewing placement requirements, and making sure neighbors knew what was happening. He also showed up in person, attending meetings and advocating for public safety concerns.
So it's a lot of money that the state will pay if someone can meet the criteria to house these sexual offenders. So if you were running a business, would you buy a 2-bedroom flat in downtown Olympia, where all the services are, for $1 million and run it out of that? Or would you go to the middle of nowhere where there's 5 bedrooms on 5 acres of land where you could then put 5 of these individuals into one house at $30,000 a person it becomes a business decision at that point in time.
The sheriff says that pressure from law enforcement and the community ultimately helped stop the proposed home from moving forward in Tenino. He calls it proof that early involvement does matter.
And I mean, you know, citizens in the county got really creative. One of them built a playground right next to the property and said, well, there's kids here and your own rules say that you can't have, you know, within X amount of feet. That didn't really work, but it sent a message. And that playground's still there today, mind you. And, you know, from the county perspective, they went and found that there were areas of the residents that were not up to building code.
Now, more than 150 miles away, that same debate is playing out right here in Kennewick, where residents are fighting a registered level 3 and higher sex offender group home at 8th and Edison.
It's important for people to understand this is not just your run-of-the-mill sex offender, you know, someone who got drunk and stumbled onto school property and peed on the football field and has an exposure case against them, right? I mean, these are your level 3 and higher sexually violent predators. These are people who have committed severe acts of sexual offenses. A lot of them involve minors. A lot of them involve people with disabilities. You know, obviously, most of them are men. And so this is not something where, you know, we're trying to reintegrate the low-level sex offender.
Sanders says communities facing these proposals should stay engaged and work closely with law enforcement and lawmakers. It's like a science experiment.
Kind of feels like it. Kind of feels like a public safety science experiment. And we've done a lot of them lately in Washington. We did it with car chases. We've done it with reasonable suspicion Terry stop detainments. It's like there's no research to back any of it up. It's kind of done on like an emotional whim. And then when it backfires terribly and people literally die over it, it's like, whoopsie.
And now our crews did reach out to Angela Rinaldo, the CEO of Supreme Living LLC, the company who was set to open that home in Tenino.
And they asked her for a comment, but she said, quote, "I have nothing to say about it." And we'll, of course, keep you updated as we learn more.
And following up now on a story that we've been keeping a close eye on, a 14-year-old Kennewick High School student who was arrested and charged with attempted murder in a threat against Kamiakin High School has been found guilty. Mason Ashby was also found guilty of 11 counts of unlawful gun possession and threats to bomb or injure property. The guilty verdict came after just 4 days of a bench trial in juvenile court. This is the case that we covered back in September. 2 students from Florida saw the threats on TikTok and notified the Kennewick Police Department, which then set off an investigation. The arrest was then made, and sentencing for Ashby will be set at a later date.
5:08 and now in Sunnyside, the city manager position is once again uncertain after interim city manager Jim Bridges submitted his resignation. The city council held a special meeting last week to determine next steps. Several motions were considered. Councilmember Julia Hart proposed forming a committee with the mayor, deputy mayor, and 1 council member to explore interim options and begin a search for a new city manager using the agency, but that motion failed. Councilmember Tom Dolan then moved to appoint the Sunnyside police chief as interim city manager for up to 3 weeks. That motion also failed. And Councilmember Ramon Chavez later proposed bringing back former city manager Mike Gonzalez. That one again failed. And the council then moved on to consider a 4th motion by Councilmember Hart.
Appoint Chief Lehman for 3 weeks as interim director as we go forward, creating a committee to seek a long-term interim director, city manager. Also to hire Coleman, the Coleman Basinger, I'm not saying her name right, for as the headhunters to help us as we move forward, seeking a long-term city manager.
The motion also included appointing a committee, including the mayor, deputy mayor, and council member George Galvin, to develop a set of criteria, and that motion did pass.
And Richland city leaders are taking the first steps towards a major public safety project. Last week's city council meeting, officials laid out a new plan to build a new police station, replacing a facility they say can no longer meet the department needs. Now, the proposed project has a few options being looked at, from buying a building to designing and constructing a new facility on city-owned land. Funding would come from voter-approved debt. A ballot measure could go before voters sometime this year after existing library debt is paid off.
The conclusion is that the building's too small for our current need, and through a number of studies by qualified people, the building can't easily be expanded, unfortunately.
Now, city leaders say the project would cost about $31.7 million with an annual net impact of less than $500,000 on the general fund. A scoping and feasibility study is expected later this year ahead of any final decision to move forward. Council members stress no new debt would begin until existing obligations are retired, and voters would have the final say if the project moves to the ballot.
And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Washington starts the week with parts of the federal government still in limbo. Coming up, the funding fight on Capitol Hill, why Homeland Security is on a short leash, and what it will take to fully reopen the government. All that is coming up in your national news in just a few minutes.
And giving you a live look outside this morning, this one from our Dust Devils camera in Pasco. When we come back, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert is going to break down your first alert forecast.
Maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to beat their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
In our house, love comes in little bites.
Mom, you do this every time.
Quality control. Memories are made in the kitchen. Find the right appliance to make more of them at Fred's.
All GE appliances are on sale, like this GE fridge, now only $14.99. That's a savings of $1,100. Stop by your local Fred's appliance today and shop the region's largest Get It Today inventory. We sell appliances, only appliances.
This is something that I've been dreaming about. I want to be a singer.
And I believe
I can do it.
Being here just means the entire world to me.
You were born to sing.
Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial House Dermatology Center in Benton City.
Are you ready? Welcome to Jewelry Design Center. Locally owned, nationally recognized. Are you ready to be blown away? To be amazed? To be inspired? Are you ready for endless possibilities? An experience like no other. Jewelry Design Center. We want to be your jeweler for life.
Voted Tri-City's best for a reason. This Valentine's Day, the Flower Bar has it all. Stunning roses, lilies, hand-tied bouquets, and gorgeous flower boxes. Plus, indulge with chocolates, macaroons, and bath products. Pre-order now at theflowerbarontheparkway.com or stop by for same-day pickup. Open until everything's gone.
Maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to beat their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
This week on GMA, wake up with Usher, Big Sean, Susan Lucci, and
of course,
on the morning of her Big Muppet Show premiere, and NFL legends Gronk and Drew Brees live on
Good Morning America.
That's it. We are done here.
A waterfall, a footbridge, and more. Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest, and I want you to pay very close attention to this segment, specifically if you're headed out to the backcountry for today or tomorrow, as there's considerable avalanche danger. And I'm not the one saying that. That is the forecast from the Northwest Avalanche Center. So this here are all the different sort of forecast zones that they have. You can see sort of our legend over here, and so the orange denotes considerable avalanche danger. And so for today, the one that's closest to our viewing area would be what they call the east-south slopes. And so this would include Skyhomish and Darrington, pretty close to Stevens Pass, considerable avalanche danger above 5,500 feet. Okay, so that's for today. But for tomorrow, it looks like the considerable area is a lot more widespread. It does actually include some portions of our viewing area proper. And so for the east slope south, that would be considerable avalanche danger above 4,500 feet. We'll move over to Stevens Pass, considerable avalanche danger above 6,000 feet. Then for Snoqualmie Pass, it would be above 5,500 feet. And then for the west-south slopes, this would be above 6,500 feet. So again, if you dare to venture out into the backcountry over the next couple days, we would just, of course, we would caution you, or we would advise that you exercise extreme caution. And coming up in the next half hour, we'll talk about some of the signs that you can look for if you are going to venture out to said areas. But taking things back down to lower elevations, we'll talk about precip chances, we'll talk about this dry and mild forecast that we have coming ahead of us. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
5:15, taking you to Capitol Hill now this morning as the U.S. government is still in a partial shutdown. Hours before Friday's deadline arrived, the Senate reached an agreement on a funding bill.
But that deal isn't official until the House votes on the matter. John Loring reports it appears there are still some things that need to be worked out.
The U.S. starts a new week without Washington, D.C. running at full throttle.
The question mark over a government shutdown is certainly a big one and a political problem, really for both parties, but certainly for Republicans right now, as the polling is showing a great deal more pressure on them.
On Tuesday, the House is expected to vote on the funding package that passed through the Senate last week.
Because of the conversation I had with Hakeem Jeffries, I know that we've got to pass a rule and probably do this mostly on our own. I think that's very unfortunate.
The legislation backs most government agencies through much of the year, except the Department of Homeland Security, which will only get funded for 2 weeks while lawmakers work to reform DHS's immigration operations.
Body cameras should be mandatory. Masks should come off. Judicial warrants should absolutely be required, consistent with the Constitution in our view, before DHS agents or ICE agents are breaking into the homes of the American people or ripping people out of their cars.
This partial government shutdown is expected to last until at least Tuesday, while Washington, D.C. tries to come to some sort of agreement.
So I think it's all of our responsibilities to reopen the government.
I'm not just a no, I'm a firm no, and I'm going to advocate with colleagues that they vote no.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And unlike last year, this partial government shutdown will not result in tens of millions of Americans losing their food assistance benefits.
But other travel could be hindered, and some people might not be able to get certain federal loans to buy homes or operate small businesses. We'll, of course, keep you updated. And keep it here, because coming up next, Josh Colbert is back with that first alert for weather forecast. It's coming up in just a few minutes on the other side of the break.
Let Schweitzer be your next winter getaway. Because at Schweitzer, your best day can start in the village or at the summit and everywhere in between. Explore Schweitzer. All days, always.
Driving the Nissan Kicks with intelligent all-wheel drive is like the best seat in the house. See why it's been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy 5 years in a row. Drive the reimagined Nissan Kicks today. Now get a low $309 per month lease or get up to $1,000 customer cash on the 2026 Nissan Kicks.
When you have a Medicare partner you trust, life gets lighter.
HealthSpring?
You know it. Put a spring in your step. HealthSpring.
Home isn't just walls and a roof, it's where hope begins. With Tri-County Partners Habitat for Humanity, you can build that home together with people who care. Our path to ownership is affordable and supportive, with education and partnership at every step. Wondering if you qualify? Fill out our online application. We are building in Benton and Franklin counties and in Walla Walla. Apply online today. Let's build the place you'll call home.
At Columbia Basin Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons, your safety is our top priority. We are the only board-certified oral and maxillofacial surgery experts in wisdom tooth removal and dental implant placement in the Tri-Cities. With years of experience and a commitment to excellence, we ensure every patient receives safe, personalized treatment. Ask your dentist to refer you to the Tri-Cities experts in oral surgery, Columbia Basin Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons. We look forward to meeting you.
Let Schweitzer be your next winter getaway. A place where the views are as good as the company. And the skiing is as electric as the experience. Explore Schweitzer. All days, always.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We have low-end chances of showers for today, so let's go ahead and show you that first with First Alert Radar, then we'll pivot over to Futurecast. But you see already some light precip falling in the Cascades as we speak. This is going to continue to march on towards the east, so we'll put this into motion with Futurecast Radar. By 8 a.m., it looks like this is starting to get into the valleys. By lunchtime, now this is into the basin and into the foothills. And then by 5 p.m., it looks like this is mostly going to be confined up into the mountain ranges. Lower elevation should be dry at this point. And then for this evening, looking completely dry, and will definitely be dry for Tuesday through Friday. Now, of course, you can see hour by hour precip chances for your exact home address by downloading the Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app, free in the App Store or on Google Play. And I think there's going to be a lot more stuff to track as we head into the weekend. But for that stretch from Tuesday through Friday, we're going to keep things very mild and very dry. And it's because of this big area of high pressure that continues to dominate the Pacific Northwest. That acts as an active weather shield, and that will certainly shield us from any active weather from Tuesday through Friday. But as we head into the weekend, you can see in the Yakima Valley, shower chances slowly but surely trending back up. 10% for Saturday, 30% for Sunday. Doesn't look like this weekend's going to be a washout, but we definitely need the rainfall. Then in terms of high temperatures, our air mass will continue to be that of one that's about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year, especially by the time we get to Sunday. 52 degrees in Yakima would be 9. We'll go ahead and round up and say 10 degrees warmer than normal. Then those overnight lows mostly hovering around freezing. Maybe a touch warmer by the time we get to Saturday, but 33, 34, it's going to be cold, but it's not going to be as cold as some of the mornings that we were tracking at the beginning of last week. So here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Small shower chances today, then going back to abnormally dry weather Tuesday through Friday. In Yakima, a mostly dry and mild week ahead of us, although shower chances could pick back up this weekend. For Ellensburg, a 50-50 chance of rain for today, then maybe a foggy start for Tuesday. For Hermiston, a mostly dry work week with highs hovering right around 50 degrees. And then for Walla Walla, small rain chances to bookend this week, but otherwise are unusually dry, and mild pattern continues.
All right, well, I know you study the forecast a lot, but this next guy, he really knows what he's talking about when it comes to the weather. The true weatherman, exactly. Much of the country, of course, right now, we've been talking about just under winter's wrath. They've been dealing with it for about a week or so now. Millions of Americans fed up, of course, with the cold. A lot of people still without power because of it, because the storms have been hitting. But now a lot of people turning their attention to a furry little weatherman.
Not this guy.
No, you're not that furry. But this guy is. They want to know what's next.
So Punxsutawney Phil is ready for Groundhog Day in Pennsylvania. The commemoration has taken place at the Gobbler's Knob site since 1887.
And with wind chills in the single digits and snow on the ground, many visitors hope the groundhog won't see his shadow this morning. According to lore, that signals the onset of an early spring.
And hate to break it to you,
he did.
Did see a shadow.
6 more weeks of winter. But like you were saying earlier, with the kind of winter that we've been seeing, I think it'll be okay.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I know we need it, right? But
in the day
I need it? No.
In the day-to-day, it's nice.
Right.
Yeah.
In the big picture, yeah.
I know. But like I said, I mean,
the environment.
millions Millions of people still just in the thick of it right now.
My sisters are dealing with the cabin fever.
Yes.
One of them walked to Raising Cane's, you know, because she was like, I'm too hungry.
I
need
gotta
my
get
fast
out.
food.
I gotta get out.
Yeah.
Get that cane sauce.
Exactly. You got to get your toast with it too. No coleslaw.
The things you'll do, you know.
You got to.
You got to. Ice and all.
Absolutely.
Okay, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Grammys wrapping up with some major wins and some memorable performances, and also a few moments that spark some conversation. Coming up, a look at the artists who made history and the highlights from music's biggest night.
Brace your taste buds. Don't miss out on the new DQ $6.99 Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket. A spicy, bold heat, served with a side of our cool, sweet DQ soft serve as a dip. All for just $6.99. Plus, try a sweet, spicy sip of lemonade made with tahini. It's the new Swicy menu for a limited time, only at DQ.
Have you heard? Tempur-Pedic sleep is better sleep. With innovative materials developed for astronauts, Tempur-Pedic mattresses reduce motion transfer, which means less tossing and turning, so you can sleep undisturbed through the night. But which Tempur-Pedic is right for you? Come to Denver Mattress and test for yourself. Let our expert sales staff guide you to your perfect Tempur-Pedic. And right now, save up to $500 on select adjustable mattress sets and get a $300 gift. Shop Denver Mattress today, the easiest way to find your perfect Tempur-Pedic.
STCU and Apple Valley News Now continue to honor volunteers by sharing their stories and awarding their charities $1,000 each. If you know someone in Benton and Franklin counties who is making a difference and taking that extra step to make our communities better, please tell us about them today. Just click on Volunteers Count on the contest tab at applevalleynewsnow.com for the STCU Volunteers Count nomination form. Volunteers Count from STCU and Apple Valley News Now.
Today, too many of us walk away from our primary care appointments feeling rushed and unheard.
We were frustrated too, so we decided to change the quality of healthcare here in the Tri-Cities.
At Primary Care at the PC, we take the time to truly listen. With 1 hour-long appointments, we care about the whole you. You don't have to be a member to be our patient, but once you're here, you might want to be.
Now welcoming new patients. Book your appointments online or call us at 509-783-5465. Primary Care at the PC. Play hard, live well.
Are you ready? Welcome to Jewelry Design Center. Locally owned, nationally recognized. Are you ready to be blown away? To be amazed? To be inspired? Are you ready for endless possibilities? An experience like no other. Jewelry Design Center. We want to be your jeweler for life.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment news, the 68th annual Grammy Awards took place last night. Plenty of trophies were handed out, and we saw just as many acceptance speeches.
Yes, the night featuring some major wins, emotional speeches, and tributes to some legendary artists.
Now this morning, David Daniel breaks down the night's top winners, the moments that stood out, and what defined this year's ceremony.
Bad Bunny, debí tirar más fotos.
An overwhelmed Bad Bunny warmed up for the Super Bowl by accepting 3 Grammys, including Album of the Year.
I'm gonna say, eyes out. We don't hate them. We love our people, we love our family, and that's the way to do it, with love.
Immigration was also on the minds of Song of the Year winners Billie Eilish and Phineas.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
And Best New Artist winner Olivia Dean.
I guess I want to say I'm up here as a granddaughter of an immigrant. I'm a product of bravery, and I think those people deserve to be celebrated.
Jelly Roll celebrated Jesus after winning a trio of trophies.
Jesus is for everybody. Jesus is not owned by one political party. Jesus is not owned by no music label. Jesus is Jesus, and anybody can have a relationship with him.
Talk about a trailblazer.
A lengthy in memoriam segment featured Reba McEntire's first ever Grammys performance. and all-star tributes to Ozzy Osbourne and to D'Angelo and Roberta Flack.
I feel like making love. Kendrick Lamar!
The night's biggest winner was Kendrick Lamar with 5 awards, including Record of the Year, giving him 27 lifetime, passing Jay-Z as the Grammy's most awarded rapper.
So I appreciate y'all. God is the glory. Love y'all.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
He won a number of Grammys last night, as you just heard Kendrick Lamar did. And one of the last ones that he won of the night, Cher presented.
Oh.
And I love me some Cher.
I love anything she says.
I know,
just
she's
her
so great.
One-liners.
But so he won for the song Luther.
Uh-huh.
And when she opened the envelope,
Uh-huh.
the word envelope, she announced it as Luther Vandross, like the winner is Luther Vandross.
Oh.
And it made me giggle. And Kendrick kind of looked around, he's like, wait, I think that's me. I think she's talking about me.
I need to see this later.
I know.
I only
And
watched half of it.
She felt so bad. She was apologizing to everyone who came up on stage. She's like,
Since it's Cher, I think she gets a pass.
I think so too.
But I loved Jelly Roll's speech.
I know. So good.
Oh,
I
watch
know.
it again.
I know. A lot of good performances. It was fun to watch. Did you watch any of it?
I did not, but love Kendrick.
Here he is, under his rock again.
I have Good Kid, Mad City on my wall in the bedroom,
Yep,
so really
yep.
happy for him. Yeah.
Love it. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest.
The 2026 Boys and Girls Club of Benton and Franklin County's Youth of the Year is Robert Gomez.
He is a two-time champion and an inspiration to his peers. Pasco teen Robert Gomez making history, winning Youth of the Year at the Boys and Girls Club for a second straight time. Coming up, we'll show how his drive and mentors helped him achieve greatness. That's all coming up in your 5:30 half hour. But first, here's your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Blue Origin changes its focus. The company has operated tourist flights to the edge of space since 2021. But now it's going to focus on developing lunar landers for future NASA missions. While that's happening, no more tourist flights for at least 2 years. SpaceX has filed a request with the FCC to launch 1 million satellites. Elon Musk is reportedly planning to build a massive data center in space to power artificial intelligence needs here on Earth. It's expected to rely on solar power with low operating and maintenance costs. Apple hasn't announced its rumored foldable iPhone yet, but the company is reportedly already drawing up plans for a second version. Bloomberg says Apple is considering a smaller square device that folds like a clamshell. The first Apple foldable would open like a book and could come out as early as this year. Those are your Tech Bites.
Airwick's vibrant fragrances are infused with 2 times more essential oils. The advanced plug-in with a boost button and anti-fade technology can keep your home always inviting for up to 70 days. That's a lot of inviting. Airwick, always fragrant, always inviting.
Don't let congestion take over. Afrin No-Trip. Wow, ridiculously fast nasal congestion relief. The wow is real. And now try new drug-free Afrin Saline.
Be the one thing that can change everything. Be bold. Be authentic. In a world where you can be anything. Be love. Be love. Be love. Be love. Pandora.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Monday morning. Thanks for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
Groundhog said 6 more weeks of winter.
That weather rodent.
That weather rodent that's out for your job.
Thinks he knows it all.
He does. He does. Well, we'll see about that. We'll see how it pans out. But here, we certainly need some more winter. I know in the day-to-day it's not as fun, but the mountains definitely need the snow. And it's getting to the point where even lower elevations need the rainfall as well. It doesn't look like we're going to get much of that throughout the the course of this week. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of those big weather stories. Low in chances for showers for today, but we're going to go back to that mild and dry stuff from Tuesday through Friday. And there is that considerable avalanche danger for today and tomorrow at least. So we'll touch on that a little bit later in the show. But let's take you back to current conditions for this morning. Very thick fog up towards Snoqualmie Pass. Also, we're tracking some fog for the Blues. Lower elevations, not seeing it too much for now, but we'll definitely keep a close eye on things. And then in terms of temperatures, most of us hovering right around freezing. 30 for Ellensburg, 30 for the Tri-Cities, a touch warmer for Walla Walla at 38. And we're in the 20s and 30s for the highest terrain of the Cascades and the Blues. First alert radar is showing you the precip moving in from the west. Light rainfall on the west side right now. Some snow mixing in for the Cascades. It will end up being a rain-snow mix throughout the day, but for lower elevations for the Yakima Valley for this Monday, low in chances of rainfall all throughout the day. It's certainly not going to be a washout. Now, chances for precip going to be a little bit better in the Kittitas Valley, about 50-50, but for the rest of us, we're looking at 10 to 30% chances, and it will end up being a mild Monday. But speaking of the mild temperatures, that definitely factors into some of the avalanche danger that we have up in the Cascades for today and tomorrow at least. So we'll talk about the specifics of that coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. We begin this half hour of news looking to one teen who is making history at the Boys and Girls Club of Benton and Franklin counties and doing it back to back.
The organization has announced its 2026 Youth of the Year. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Garcia was there as the winner was announced and shows us why this moment meant more than just a title.
The 2026 Boys and Girls Club of Benton and Franklin counties Youth of the Year is Robert Gomez.
For Robert, hearing his name called is a moment he knows well, but this time it means even more. The Pasco Clubhouse teen has been named Youth of the Year for a second consecutive time.
I won it last year, but this year just surprised me. I was very, very honored to, win this again, like making this 2 times history. No one has ever, won 2 times in a row. And just, winning today just shows that there is second chances, and whoever feels like, there's no second chances, there is, and keep on doing what you're doing.
Staff members say that history didn't happen by accident. Richard Nunez, the high school coordinator for the Pasco Clubhouse, says Robert's drive shows up every single day.
I mean, he just works so hard. Like I said, from the beginning of this year, every day he's asking me questions, but not just me, like other amazing club staff too. How can I get better? How can I improve? And he's always just trying to get 1% better. And that's what you appreciate and love about Robert, is that he puts his whole heart in it, because he loves club and he really wants to represent this organization and hopefully be the National Youth of the Year one day.
For Robert, that motivation comes from the people who pushed him to keep going, even when he thought his story was done.
My mentors just, inspired me to, not give up, that I still can continue my story. I feel like, giving up with my story, because I feel like I've done everything. But, with the mentors and everything, they showed me that I could continue my story, and I'm right here living it now.
And while the title comes with recognition, Robert says it's really about responsibility.
Sometimes Youth of the Year, some people might take it as a title or something, but I take it as an impact. I really want to impact kids, and, with my friends and everything at the Boys and Girls Club, they're just right behind my, shoulder, just sharing my journey with me, and that's what I love.
Next up, Robert will compete for State Youth of the Year title late March. If selected, he will advance to regional and then national competition. Monique Garcia, Apple Valley News Now.
And this year's runners-up for Youth of the Year include Hader from the Kennewick Clubhouse.
And Nola from the Prosser Clubhouse.
2 years in a row. I love that for him. Really making a difference out there.
Good kids.
All right, keep it here, because coming up next, it was a night to remember for the Mustang star. Straight ahead, see how junior Herbie Wright not only broke decades-old records, but also aims to take her team even further this season. That's coming up when we talk sports after the break.
Seattle Kraken Hockey, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
My team has been chasing the biggest heroin trafficker and a man you were incarcerated with. I would like for you to reconnect.
He's gonna get suspicious.
We have a problem.
Job is blown.
Get out of there now!
Life moves fast. At Frechette Winery, we invite you to slow it down and savor the moment. Join us on Red Mountain for bold, flavorful red wines, a welcoming vibe, and experiences meant to be shared, from relaxed tastings to unforgettable wine and dinner events. Located just minutes from Benton City in West Richland, we're open daily, noon to 5. Come for the wine, stay for the warmth, experience the Frechette vibe. Great wine brings people together, and we'd love to welcome you to Frechette.
Life happens. Lucky for you, ICCU has a new kind of checking account that comes with benefits, including 24/7 telehealth.
Wait, through my ICCU checking account?
On it.
Along with a whole lot of other benefits you might need. Because being human is a full-time job.
The White Card, a powerful resource for former Hanford and DOE employees. If you worked in the area and have come down with cancer, lung disease, Parkinson's, or renal failure, you may be eligible for financial compensation and healthcare services. A simple phone call can get the process started. Atomic Home Health. Don't wait. Call today.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. At my law firm, we have a team that knows big truck wrecks. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the knowledge and experience to get you paid everything you deserve. Call the heavy hitter. When I call the insurance companies, they listen. Hit by a big truck, I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
Are you ready? Welcome to Jewelry Design Center. Locally owned, nationally recognized. Are you ready to be blown away? To be amazed? To be inspired? Are you ready for endless possibilities? An experience like no other. Jewelry Design Center. We want to be your jeweler for life.
I take care of the kids, my dad, and things at work. But I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression, but help is available. Head to mentalhealthcareworks.org today.
My team has been chasing the biggest heroin trafficker and a man you were incarcerated with. I would like for you to reconnect.
He's gonna get suspicious.
We have a problem.
The op is blown.
Get out of there, now!
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's talk once again about that considerable avalanche danger that we have for today and tomorrow in the Cascades. So first, let's give you a lay of the land for today and tomorrow. And we do have considerable avalanche danger for today. For this would be the west central and also for the northwestern slopes. That would be the zones as defined by the Northwest Avalanche Center, and that considerable area is definitely a lot more widespread for Tuesday. So all that to say, Tuesday's danger is going to be a little bit higher than today's danger. So let's break this down. What is considerable avalanche danger? Well, natural avalanches are possible. Human-triggered avalanches are going to be likely, and the size and distribution, there's kind of a wide array of what we could see, but the travel advice is that there needs to be careful evaluation of the snowpack, very cautious route finding, and very conservative decision making if you dare to venture out to the backcountry over the next couple of days. Here are graphics that I hope you never have to use this advice, but just in case. Here's what to do during an avalanche. Try to escape, try to move to the side of the avalanche's edge, grab something to hold on to, like a tree, a rock, or sturdy object. Protect your airway, use your hands or an arm to keep a mouth or nose clear, and try to swim to stay on top. Now, coming up in the next half hour, we'll tell you, again, one of those unfortunate things, but what to do if you're buried during an avalanche. Okay, things a lot calmer for lower elevations. We have low and rain chances for today, then things very mild and dry from Tuesday through Friday. Talk about that coming up in a few minutes.
5:43, talking sports now this morning. Prosser High School junior Herbie Wright now holds the girls' record for the most points scored in a basketball game in the Yakima Valley.
Wright scored 57 points in a win against Toppenish, breaking several records in her performance. She shattered the previous Prosser School record, which used to be 43 points, and that was a record that stood for over 30 years.
She's also now third on the Prosser all-time scoring list in just her junior year.
It was definitely really special. It's something I've talked about with like trainers, coaches, my family, and it's a goal of mine, and it's something I've wanted to do since freshman year, and it was just really special to be able to do it on the home court with the fans and my team and everyone that I love.
And Prosser has 2 games remaining on the season.
And a win in their next game against Sela would clinch the conference title for the Mustangs.
Good luck to them.
Yes.
And keep it here, because coming up next, we've got your morning sprint, everything you need to know before you head out the door. And Josh is back with your full First Alert weather forecast. It's all coming up in just a few minutes.
Driving the Nissan Kicks with intelligent all-wheel drive is like the best seat in the house. See why it's been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy 5 years in a row. Drive the reimagined Nissan Kicks today. Now get a low $309 per month lease, or get up to $1,000 customer cash on the 2026 Nissan Kicks.
At Smoke City for Less, we understand every smoker is unique. Explore our over 1,500 vape flavors and specialty curated selection of tobacco products. Your perfect flavor and blend awaits at any of Smoke City for Less 6 locations. Save your pennies. Smoke City for Less has the lowest prices. Find the best vape mods, batteries, kratom, and specialty products too. Our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to provide personalized recommendations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some, gimme Some Bagels.
Visit Cle Elum anytime for spectacular views, fantastic food, and shopping unlike anywhere else. Let's talk with some local businesses. This is the heart of Cle Elum.
It's that sense of community, I would say, that really drives us. It's why we want to live here. It's what we love the most about being here. An absolute adventure. Every single day is different.
It's a really beautiful small town with mountains and everything you ever want to do or adventure. And there's lots of snowmobiling in the winter, lots of hiking, kayaking.
Every single corner of the globe, they all end up in Cle Elum for one reason or another, whether it's to enjoy the outdoors, to enjoy the small town feel. There are a lot of great restaurants, a few wineries, a lot of great bars. There's a lot to do and see here. Cheers to Cle Elum.
Learn more at centralwashingtonoutdoor.com. Experiencing the outdoors is in our nature.
Stacy Lee. First Alert Weather. Watch tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and talk about those small shower chances that we have for today. These are really going to be the best shower chances we have all week up until we get to the weekend. But First Alert Radar showing you some very light stuff up in the mountains for this morning. We'll go ahead and we'll put this into motion with Futurecast Radar. And by 8 a.m., this is starting to get into the Yakima and the Kittitas valleys around lunchtime. Now this is right on top of the basin and into the foothills. And then by 5 p.m., looking pretty dry out there, at least for lower elevations. We'll still have some leftover stuff for the mountains. And then into this evening, into Tuesday, that's when the forecast goes completely dry, and we'll keep it that way through Friday. Okay, but you can see hour-by-hour precip chances for today for your exact home address by downloading the Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather app free in the App Store or on Google Play. There's definitely going to be some more stuff to track, especially with that interactive radar feature as we head into this weekend. But for the time being, Tuesday through Friday, we continue to keep the forecast abnormally dry and abnormally mild for this time of the year. It's because of this, these areas of high pressure that continue to dominate the Pacific Northwest. And so that is just why we're not seeing very much active weather at all. Here's what it's going to look like over the next 7 days in the Tri-Cities. A little chance of some showers for today, about 20%. And then you see dry from Tuesday through Friday, but then starting to step back up those rain chances into Saturday, and then especially for Sunday. Fingers crossed that this is the beginning of a more active pattern as we head into next week, because we definitely need the rainfall and we definitely need the snowfall up in the mountains. High temperatures mostly going to hover within a degree or two of 50 degrees all throughout the week in the Tri-Cities, but a good deal milder by the time we get to Sunday, 56 degrees. That would be about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. And those overnight lows going to hover right around freezing up until Saturday night, Sunday night, a little bit warmer as we'll get up into the mid-30s. So moral of the story, we need the rain, just doesn't look like we're getting that much of it for now. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Small shower chances today, then going back to abnormally dry weather Tuesday through Friday. For Yakima, a mostly dry and mild week ahead of us, although shower chances could pick back up this weekend. For Ellensburg, a 50-50 rain chance Monday, then maybe a foggy start to Tuesday. We'd be right on the cusp of freezing fog, as well as those overnight lows are going to be maybe just a touch above freezing. Then for Hermiston, a mostly dry work week with highs hovering right around 50 degrees. And finally for Walla Walla, small rain chances to book in this week, but otherwise our unusually dry and mild pattern continues.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time's 5:50, starting with your morning sprint, the top 5 local things you need to know. A 14-year-old Kennewick High School student has been found guilty of attempted murder in connection with a threat against Kamiakin High. Now, the teen, Mason Ashby, was also convicted on 11 counts of unlawful gun possession and making threats to bomb or damage property. Bench trial lasted just 4 days. Guilty verdict follows an investigation that was triggered when 2 students in Florida reported the threats via TikTok. Sentencing will be scheduled at a later date.
And in Sunnyside, the city manager position is once again uncertain after interim city manager Jim Bridges submitted his resignation. Bridges had been filling in temporarily and stepped down amid ongoing questions about city leadership and administrative priorities. The resignation leaves city officials considering next steps as they search for a permanent replacement. Discussions are ongoing about how leadership changes will affect city projects and governance in the coming months.
And the Pasco City Council recently heard an update on a tentative 1-year labor agreement with the non-uniformed police unit, including roles like crime analysis, evidence technicians, and police support specialists. The agreement, projected to cost about $30,000, aims to streamline benefits and reduce future disputes. No formal action was taken at the workshop, but council members are expected to consider approval at an upcoming session.
Franklin County's 2026 budget is about $55 million, and the final plan shows a $48,000 deficit after commissioners scaled back some department requests. Property taxes won't increase, and the budget avoids levy hikes or shifting road funds. Major spending increases focus on emergency communications, jail medical costs, and Superior Court public defense, while $750,000 is set aside for capital projects to maintain infrastructure. Departments are now operating under the new budget, balancing services with fiscal responsibility.
Richland City officials are exploring options to replace the current police station, which they say no longer meets the department's needs. Plans include buying an existing building or designing a new facility on city land. The project would cost about $31.7 million, funded through voter-approved debt, with an annual net impact under $500,000 on the general fund. A feasibility study is expected later this year, and no new debt would begin until existing obligations are retired. Voters would have the final say if the project goes to the ballot.
International headlines this morning. Ukraine's president says the next round of talks aimed at ending the war will take place later this week. Volodymyr Zelensky says Ukraine, Russia, and the U.S. will meet on February 4th and 5th in Abu Dhabi. The talks were initially expected to happen over the weekend, but Zelensky had warned they could be delayed amid rising tensions between the U.S. and Iran. In a post on social media, Zelensky said his negotiating team has delivered its report that Ukraine is ready for a discussion. The first round of trilateral talks was held last weekend in the UAE, and it was described by all sides as constructive.
In your business headlines at 5:53 this morning, a wild run in precious metals came to a screeching halt Friday. Gold and silver, which hit record highs earlier last week, plunged, wiping out their weekly gains. Silver futures tumbled 22%, while gold fell 8%. Silver had surged past $100 an ounce this month, driven by traders chasing momentum. Gold also soaring briefly, topping $5,000 an ounce. But investors say the swing became detached from fundamentals metals, warning that fear of missing out pushed prices into a dangerous phase. But even after the drop, gold remains up 13% this year and silver still up 26%.
In your health headlines, a site in Pennsylvania has won a bid for a new drug device manufacturing facility. Eli Lilly announced plans to build a $3.5 billion plant, and the drug maker says the facility will manufacture what it calls next-generation weight loss therapies, including retatrutide. The facility in Fogelsville, west of Allentown, is expected to bring more than 800 jobs to the area, and construction is expected to begin this year with an opening planned in 2031. This represents the fourth new U.S. manufacturing site that Eli Lilly has announced within the last year.
5:54 in your sports headlines this morning. Super Bowl week is officially underway. The Seahawks are settling in. Seattle arriving in San Jose ahead of Super Bowl 60. And we'll call it home for the next week. Practicing at San Jose State as preparations ramp up for the biggest game of the season before the work really starts. Seahawks players and coaches will make their first major public appearance tonight at a Super Bowl opening night in San Jose, kicking off a week full of media sessions and spotlight moments. After that, the focus turns fully to football as Seattle locks in its final game with the championship on the line.
Yay! And trending this morning, a police dog helped find a boy with special needs during the height of this weekend's snowstorm in North Carolina.
Well, police in Gastonia say the canine and a police sergeant helped search for the missing 13-year-old. Authorities say the boy had walked out of his house and was not dressed properly for the conditions and was at risk of getting hypothermia.
The K-9 named Bo helped find the boy as police set up a perimeter near the home. And a short time later, officers found him. He was cold, but is expected to be okay.
Oh,
you love that so much, don't you?
That is so sweet. Just warms your heart. Oh, Bo. Such a good boy.
Good job, Bo.
The best boy.
Yeah. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up in your 6 o'clock hour, from power outages to temporary housing, Hermiston officials are preparing for the future. Coming up, we're going to show you how the city is adding backup power for its regional system and building new RV spaces to support growth.
And Franklin County is balancing rising costs without raising taxes. Coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, we'll break down the $55 million budget and what it means for public safety and services in 2026. And Josh, what are you tracking?
Yeah, low end shower chances for today. Otherwise, it's going to be a mostly dry and mild week for lower elevations, but things getting a little bit interesting over the next couple days up in the mountains. I'll tell you why. Coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.